following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Up-Tempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane, here tonight with my co-host, Dustin Smith, and we are here to talk about the Auburn Tigers getting absolutely run out of Rupp Arena, man, 86-54. This one stings, Dustin. The Auburn Tigers, man, where do you go? I mean, this team shoots 33%, and they let Kentucky shoot 56%. The effort in the second half was just absolutely atrocious, man. I don't even know where to start with this episode, Dustin. I felt like this was a game that we could possibly win. We could go to Rupp Arena and steal one for the first time since 1988. And we just got let down as fans, man. We just got let down straight up, you know. I thought, what do we hit, 7 or 8 threes? And you feel like when Auburn does something like that, that you should have a chance to win a basketball game, and that wasn't the case Saturday evening. So this one stings, man. It really does. It hurts the NCAA tournament chances, in my opinion. Some people have us as a 9 seed. Some people have us as a 10 seed. And this one stings, man, especially you give this kind of performance, Dustin, with Alabama right here Wednesday night in Tuscaloosa. Where are the minds at, the mentals in the locker room, man? Like, that's my biggest thing right now is how do you have this performance and then you go to Tuscaloosa? I mean, how do you wrap it around and some type of way have a nice showing in Tuscaloosa? I don't know, man.
You said you don't know where to go with it. I'll tell you where I want to start.
Mm-hmm.
Four assists to their 16 assists. It's just the same story. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
You're not moving. You're not moving around. The ball's not moving. And they did a good job. We only had one block in the game. You get out rebounded 41-23. You shoot 33% from 3, which isn't terrible, but it looks pretty bad when they shoot 61.5 and they shoot 56 from the field. And here's, we probably said this a month ago. This team has to hang its hat on defense. Over this stretch where we've lost 3, we're 3-7 in our last 10 games, the defense has steadily gone down. It's bad. We overhelp on the backside, and it leads to wide open threes time and time again. And we're not, for the entire tenure of Bruce Pearl, it's been like this full court press giving teams hell. I feel like we haven't seen that in forever. It just seems to be pretty much non-existent at this point. We're not creating turnovers, and our offense is just not designed. We don't have guards that can create. We don't have guys. If we don't have an advantage down low, Blake, if there's not a significant advantage at the 4 and 5 spot, then we're just gonna struggle to score. Look at what the guards did tonight. Zep in 21 minutes, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds. That's what your starting point guard gives you. Leor Berman comes in. He gives you in 13 minutes 0, 0, and 0. You get 9 from Wynn, you get 7 from KD, and you get 3 from Trey. So you get 19 points total from your guards. You're not going to win in Lexington versus a Kentucky team that's getting hot doing that. You're not going to win any games this time of year versus a good team doing that. And there was a point in the season when everybody was saying, okay, we just got to win some of these games and hopefully get hot at the right time. We're not getting hot at the right time. We're playing worse and worse basketball as the season goes on.
Was the Vanderbilt loss the reason for all this? The Vanderbilt loss and the close win against Ole Miss, even though it was terrible basketball. Is this Auburn team? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, well, this 2019 team. Let me tell you something, Dustin. I'm tired of hearing it, man. Like, I'm to the point – where I'm so sick of hearing that comparison. I'm sick of it. When this Auburn team got down by 16, all right, to Kentucky, you knew it was over because let me tell you something, Dustin, this team does not have shooters. They can't shoot themselves back into a basketball game, all right? It can't happen. They can't do it. All right, you made 7 threes yesterday, and you got beat by 32, all right? They can't shoot themselves back into a basketball game. They're one of the easiest teams in the country to defend in the half court because they can't shoot. So they have to be out in transition to score the basketball. Kentucky stopped them from doing that yesterday. They made Auburn a half-court team. They made it where Auburn couldn't score. They made it difficult on Joe Nybroom with Oscar Sheboy, who had 17 rebounds, and Toppin had 12. And dude, we literally got crushed in every facet of the basketball game. And I just got to ask you, man, did that Vanderbilt game, that loss in Nashville, did that have anything to do with the performance of this team over the past week?
Maybe. I mean, if you remember going into that game, I told you I wanted it to be a close game and I wanted us to find a way to win. I felt like it was important. And it does kind of seem like since then that just took something out of this team.
Absolutely.
But how much, I don't know, because at the end of the day, there's just so many flaws on this team. There's so many ceilings. I mean, every guy, everybody. Janai is your most consistent, and there's just only so much you can do from the 5 spot. And even though I like Janai, and if I had to put an MVP on the season, it would be Janai. Let's be honest about it. His interior defense over the last month or two has left a lot to be desired. So there's just a lot of holes. There's only so much, so there's only so much this team can do, man. And when you get 19 total points from all your guards, you made a point about how the bench hasn't been contributing on the last podcast.
Yep.
Same thing. I mean, there was nothing special there tonight. This is the kind of game, bro, where you need a guy like Jalen Williams to show up and give you 18 to 20 points. You know that Wynn's got to give you 15 to 20 and play well in this kind of game. And you didn't get it. And, I mean, to be honest, do you think are we going to get it again this season? I don't think we win another basketball game.
Even the SEC tournament?
I think Ole Miss is the last game that this basketball team wins this year.
I can't hate on that, man. I really can't. We've been in this episode for 8 minutes now, and I mean, what do you even say about this basketball team? I don't know. I can't sit here and say, no, Dustin, you're wrong. We're going to beat Alabama, we're going to beat Tennessee, or we're going to win our first game of the SEC tournament. I can't say anything good about this team right now. Let's talk about effort. All right, in the second half, Dustin. Let's talk about effort. It wasn't there in the second half. It wasn't. It wasn't there. All right, you could tell that Auburn gave up yesterday. And that is something that doesn't sit well with me, because you have your coach coming out and apologizing to your fan base. All right, you have your coach coming out and saying, I wish we could have put on a better performance. I hate that our guys, they didn't finish. Even though we were down 40, Kentucky's largest lead was 40. I wish it could have been a better game than that. Dustin, I'm at a loss for words, man. I said it when we lost to Vanderbilt. I said, look, I just don't think this team is an NCAA tournament basketball team. I don't, man. And a lot of Auburn fans might come into the comments and say, oh, well, you just you're down on Auburn and you're crazy to think this, you're crazy to think that. Look, what are we out of our last 10, Dustin?
3-7.
3-7. What is our record? 19-10. What are we? 9-7 in the SEC.
Yeah.
Who have we beat? What's our marquee win on the year?
I think Arkansas is the best one.
Arkansas? Northwestern?
Yeah.
What's our quad one record? 3 and.
I want to say, I don't think there's 3. I want to say it's
2-7. 2-7, 2-8.
2-8. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and look, they put the numbers up in the game about offensive numbers, and we were like 330, 350, 360, and all of them. Okay. Yep. Well, when you're playing good defense, that's still not good, but it can help you out. We haven't been playing good defense for a while now. So we're starting to get out rebounded consistently. So if you're a team that can't shoot and you get out rebounded 41-23, you are going to get your ass kicked every time. And then as far as effort goes, that's the frustrating part to me, because normally, and this isn't a shot at Bruce, first off, before it slips my mind about the apology, think about this. What does that tell you when Bruce has to come out and apologize? That tells you that there's a standard now.
Yep.
So for anybody so we talk about it all the time, but again, I saw it all Saturday. If this isn't 1995, this isn't Tony Barbie or any of that, because that was the norm then, and the head coach wouldn't have apologized. Bruce has set a standard now. He knows that was unacceptable. He knows that that's not what Auburn basketball has become. That's not what he's built. So, and that's the frustrating part about effort to me is you have done a lot of things in the Bruce Pearl era that Auburn's never done. Winning all these games, winning these conference titles, having all these guys in the NBA. I mean, you could make a starting five out of Auburn guys in the NBA now. That's crazy. So all those things, but one thing you haven't done is win in Lexington. That's a very big deal. And they did not look like they were concerned with that whatsoever. And once it got to a certain point in the second half, it just looked like they threw their hands up and said, okay.
Yeah, and that's crazy too, Dustin, because in the first half, we were playing really well. Like, I thought Joe Nye was doing some great things down low on Sheway. They were going at it at one point. Joe Nye was hitting a couple tough shots, and they were really dirty down there in the paint and just getting physical, man. And I thought it was a great brand of basketball in the first half. I thought Auburn did really well up until about 2 minutes left, 2.5 and change.
Closing that half.
Kentucky went on the run, got the 10, 11-point lead, and took it into half, man, and never looked back in the second half. And, this Kentucky team, man, they're rolling, but there was no way Auburn could give a performance like this, especially to a team that is kind of in the same area as you are right now. That's the biggest thing that hits home with me is you get beat by 32 to a team that is hovering around the same spot as you are. How does that serve your resume well? Like, there's no way it can. And all these people, they stop comparing this team and stop comparing this year to the Tony Barbie. I'm sick of talking about it. This is not it. All right. Losing by 32 is no longer Auburn basketball. It's no longer looking back at the past in Auburn basketball. Auburn basketball there's no way they should be getting beat by 32, all right, at Kentucky. No way. It just, the effort, man. What I saw in the second half, just, I tell you this right now. It made me want to turn the game off, and usually we sit there and man, I'll watch walk-ons come onto the court. I don't care. I want to see everybody. And it's the same way in football, baseball. Like, I want to see everybody get their turn. Just because it's 56-3 on a Saturday in Jordan-Hare against Akron, I don't care. I want to see everybody get their shot. But that performance, pathetic. And honestly, I'll die on the hill. I do not think Auburn deserves to be in the NCAA tournament. I don't. It hurts, man. It hurts because I love Auburn basketball, and I'm committed to sitting down and having my ass in this chair and watching every single game, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, whenever we play, and we get a performance like that. And for this, man, I'll die on the hill. Like I said, I just don't think we're a tournament team. Once Auburn gets down by 12 to 14 points, it's over, Dustin, because they can't shoot themselves back into a basketball game. They can't. They can't.
Now you're not even creating enough now you're not even creating turnovers and getting in transition. So now you're not even doing anything to get points.
And our guards, look, I made this point earlier in the season. I think we were playing Memphis, all right? When a guy like Wendell Green Jr. and Zep Jasper are playing defense, okay, and you're going against a guard that's 6'4", all right, their first step is going to beat guys like Wendell and Zep, all right? It is so difficult for them to guard bigger guards, all right? We just don't have that this year. Could Auburn get in the tournament and make some magical run? Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. Is it going to happen? Highly doubt it. All right? Highly doubt it. Because let me tell you something about making a run in the tournament. You watched St. Peter's last year. Everybody's like, oh, man, St. Peter's, they were a nobody. They made a run, so Auburn could make a run. St. Peter's could shoot the basketball.
Yeah, they had shooters.
They had shooters, dog. They could shoot it. They spaced the floor, and they got their shooters open, all right? They got their shooters open to shoot, and they weren't scared to pull the trigger. Jalen Williams, you catch the ball on the wing wide open. If I see you shot fake one more time, all right, shoot the basketball, all right? You are our best three-point shooter. Shoot the basketball. Bro, it's head-scratching that Jalen can shot fake and then dish it to Zep Jasper. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing, Dustin. That, in my opinion, our best guy can shot fake, all right? He's open for a three.
Yeah,
wide
open. Yeah.
Shot fakes, gets his guy up in the air, takes one dribble, and dishes to Zep Jasper. What? I don't know, man. This is tough, man. It's tough. Like I can't even point out one bright spot in this basketball game. There's nothing to point out. I think Joe Nye hit a three. Maybe that's a bright spot.
Which it's not a bright spot because then he takes more and he airballs those. When you go back to when we had about 8 games left and we knew we were hitting this tough stretch, we all kind of looked at it and we're like, man, 3 and 5 will get it done. We just got to win a couple and what do we all keep saying? There's a bunch of opportunities. There's a bunch of big opportunities. You only got to win a couple of them because you got a bunch of good opportunities.
Yep. You
beat Missouri, and Missouri's a really good team. And like that's our best win of the season. So I'm not crapping on that win. But that's the only one you did. That's it. That's the only That's the only one you did. So all the other ones you've came up short. You barely beat Ole Miss. Like we're not playing good basketball. I don't see how it's going to change. Obviously I hope I'm wrong because like this is tough to do. It's been tough to do all season. It's and it's not like when I would sit down and watch the Tony Barbie games, and the difference is I expected to get blown out then. I knew that was coming. This isn't what we are now. So it's frustrating, man, and there's no excuse for it.
Bro, when Bama fans hit my phone and have a 32 with a bunch of laughing emojis, what do I say to that? What do I say?
That's the part. Yeah, that's the part that makes it even worse is that they're having the year they're having.
Yeah, and look, this is why the frustration is now on us, is because we look across the state and they're about to cut the nets down for winning the SEC championship. Right. And some of you out there are okay with being 19-10 and just say, oh, well, we're going to make it to the tournament. No, that's not okay. It's not okay. I don't want to just make it to the tournament. Like, I want to make it to the second weekend. I don't want to just make it. I saw somebody say, well, at least we're just going to make it in as a 10 seed. I don't want to just make it in. All right. I want to be in the tops, man, like we were last year. Even though we only made it to the round of 32, I still want to be a 2 seed, a 1 seed, a 3 seed, 5 seed, a 10 seed. Just don't sit right with me, man. I know you still get a ticket to the dance, but man, the journey is so much harder. and so much more difficult when you draw that 10 seed. All right. It's so much more difficult. So, that's my thing, man. That's my thing is just I expected more this year. And I know two people not contributing, like we always say, I know it hurt because Bruce thought that those two guys were going to be able to contribute more than what they have. But this still stings, man. And I guess what also stings and what I'm trying to say is like I just see people being okay with it. Like that is what kind of really just eats at me is people are, well, we're 19-10, we're good. We're 9-7 in the SEC. And I'm just like, that's not where I want to be. I want to be like we were last year at the top every year. I want us up there or at least in contention of winning every year.
Well,
we've been out of the SEC race, Dustin, for weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So it's aggravating, man.
My thing is say we're 19-10 and 9-7. It's about where are you at right now? If we had this record, but we started the season playing bad, and then now we were playing good, I would have a different. I'd say, hey, look, rough start, but we're going to make the tournament as a 10 seed, and we're playing good basketball at the right time. But that's the opposite of what it is. We're playing terrible basketball down the stretch.
Great point. Great point, Dustin. Great point. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to throw a team out there, and they lost to Alabama by 3. Okay, 86-83 in Tuscaloosa. The Arkansas Razorbacks, Dustin. Great point because they get Nick Smith Jr. back.
Yeah.
And that raises their offense a little bit. They get a shooter, a playmaker, a ball handler, everything that Nick Smith Jr. can do. He is a special, special basketball talent. So that right there, what you just said with if we had a 19-10 record, we had a guy like Nick Smith Jr., we were beating the Vanderbilts. We were just absolutely stepping on Ole Miss's neck in Neville Arena. We were going to Kentucky. Okay, say we drop a 3-point game to Kentucky or something like that, man, a single-digit loss. I'm okay with losing at Rupp like that, but to lose by 32, all right? And you're just not playing a great brand of basketball. And I don't think it's going to change. Could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But we're just not on the trajectory to make it, if we do make the tournament, make it out of the first weekend. And I think Arkansas is a team that is on that right trajectory, and they're rolling right now. And so it stings, man. It stings. And I don't know. Maybe I'm mad. Maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know, Dustin. You got to tell me, man, because I'm really to the point where, I put on Twitter yesterday. I was like, we just lost by 32 to Kentucky. And all I can do is laugh. I can just sit back and laugh because I just see people posting like, man, Auburn's about to lose by 40. Like they got a 40 piece hanging on them. They wanted to talk about Oklahoma doing that to us, but you're letting an in-conference opponent do it to you. And I'm just like, man, what do I can't even say nothing back because not only did Kentucky beat us by 32, but the people that are saying this to me, y'all beat us in Neville, and
us again.
Yeah, and they're going to clap us again Wednesday night. And Brandon Miller bodied Alan Flanagan. And so, what do I say? Because every time I go to say something back, they just hit me with a Brandon Miller meme of Alan Flanagan getting posterized. So, I can't say anything. I don't know, man. I'm just aggravated. I'm upset. I'm upset. And it just kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't know, Dustin. I don't know, man. Do you think we have any type of chance Wednesday night?
No.
Yeah.
No.
What, Tennessee? I mean,
you have a chance. Yeah, you have a chance versus Tennessee simply because it's at home, and I can't ignore what our home record is over the last 2 years.
And they can be really bad offensively at times.
Yeah.
So
we've lost two home games in 2 years. Yeah, I would say, but if I was putting percentage on it, I would go like Tennessee probably 55 to us 45. Like, because
because they really haven't been playing great either. I mean, they beat Alabama at home, but they haven't been like playing like, through the roof or anything, or jumping out the gym or making big shots. Like, I mean, they haven't been playing great.
Yeah, that for sure puts you in the tournament.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this before we close this one out. Been a frustrating episode. Been getting a lot off the chest. But just say Auburn loses to Alabama. They lose to Tennessee. They lose their opening game of the SEC tournament. A lot of Auburn fans think that they're a lock in the NCAA tournament. Do you see Auburn getting in?
Under that scenario, I don't see how you could. I don't see how a team could be 19-14 with all those losses piled up in a row like that, and you justify them getting into the tournament. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I forgot about – it slipped my mind, the Missouri game. So you've beaten Missouri, Arkansas, and Northwestern. Those are the three to hang your hat on. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people disagree with this take and what me and you say, and we throw it around on social media, and everybody wants to sunshine pump and just throw the fairy the fairy dust on everything, and just want to make it all seem like it's okay, but it's it's really not. I don't see how you put them in either, man. And right now, they're not an NCAA tournament team, in my opinion. They're not playing NCAA tournament style basketball. It's who would fear Auburn, Dustin? If they had if a 7 seed had to match up with Auburn right now, who would fear them?
Yeah, I mean, tell me one thing over the past 2 months that we're consistently doing well. Nothing.
I can't.
Yeah, nothing. There's no facet of the game where we consistently do any part of it good. Not even defense anymore. So there's nothing to look at. There's nothing to say, oh, we can do this and win a game. I don't know how we can win a game.
We don't close halves very well.
No, we
don't close halves very well.
So other things we don't do well.
Yeah. So it's frustrating, man. But look, we're not going to spend any more time on this basketball side of things. We'll wrap this one up. I know I'll give you the floor to say your final thoughts like we do every episode, man, and then we'll hop over to the baseball side of things on the next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about the baseball. On to the next one. It's baseball season, baby. Look, all I can really say about this basketball thing is I'm going to tune in, I'm going to watch, and I'm going to pull for Auburn. I don't really know what else to say. I can't come on here and say that it's something that it ain't. I mean, I got eyes. So, but like and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Love it, man. Love it. Absolutely love it. Even though this was a tough one to swallow, I hope this team bounces back. Nothing would be better, man, than Wednesday night getting a dub in Tuscaloosa.
Awesome.
I hope this team fights, man. I hope they go out there, they fight, they show some effort, and they just don't lay down like they did at Rupp Arena. So hopefully we can get it done. Hopefully we can get in the NCAA tournament, and hopefully this Auburn basketball team can win some games in that tournament. So with that being said, that'll wrap this one up. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening. Go over to Apple Podcast and Spotify to rate the podcast. Give us a 5-star review. Give us a written review if you can. Tell us what you like about the show. And we really appreciate each and every one of you watching. And we will catch you on the next one. War Damn Eagle, we're out.